to Ride boards. If you want to watch more of our videos, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. Number 10 is a game that we've actually given to my parents as a gift. It is Ticket to Ride Märklin. It is the German board that they first came out with that was related to an actual train line in Germany.
Yeah, I think it was the second ever Ticket to Ride board, and it's been out of print forever because, from at least what I understand, they have to get the licensing from the Märklin train people. This game I like a lot because it comes with unique train cards for all the different cards. So, like, every card almost like looks different. So green trains, for example, there's like 7 different varieties of them. And there's also a route mechanic that the first person to build into a certain town gets a victory point chit that they can take. So it behooves people that don't want to just have a handful of cards and actually are building routes.
And on top of that, it's out of print, which is why my parents still have it, because if it was in our house, this one would have sold it by now.
I probably would have. Another game that we don't have that's also with your parents. Your parents, now the more I'm thinking about this should almost be their list as well, is the USA board. That's the original Ticket to Ride, to the best of my knowledge. One that we've probably played the most. It's probably pretty close to the most for you.
Yes,
for sure.
Absolutely.
It's a simpler version, but I think that's okay. It comes with some different expansions, different size cards. It's been around forever. There's anniversary editions. If you know Ticket to Ride, you know the USA board.
Number 8 is Rails and Sails in the Great Lakes. And the reason this board has so much importance to me, it has my hometown of Sudbury, and I can build a route all the way to where we live now between 2 of the Great Lakes. So for me, I love this, and it introduces the mechanic of collecting not only train cards, but you also have to collect boat cards to build the ferries that take you across the Great Lakes.
Yeah, I like it. As Rado would say, there's a little more meat on the bone at lower player counts for sure. So I like the boat mechanic. You have to draft different cards. Your wild cards can be used for boats or they can be used for trains. I don't think I'd want to play this at like the full 5 or 6 or whatever this does, because it takes longer to draft trains and boats. So if you're playing a larger player count, maybe don't play this one.
Number 7 is a new one that we have just acquired.
Wrong.
Oh, I am wrong.
Uh-oh.
Actually, it is Legendary Asia. So
From the first ever map expansion pack.
It is Map Expansion Pack 1. And we're talking about the side of the board in the lower corner called Legendary Asia.
Yeah, Legendary Asia has a cool mechanic that if you build certain routes, you basically have to take some of your existing trains and put them in the corner of the board. You get a couple points for them, but it makes you kind of really think, do I want that route? Because you only have 42, 45 some odd trains to begin your game with. So it just makes you do a double take. Like, do I want to build this? Do I look at doing some other things? It's a nice, interesting mechanic that adds a little more thinky to the average Ticket to Ride game.
Yeah, you have to really budget your trains and pick which routes, because you could theoretically run out of trains.
Yes. Well, I'm going to jump ahead. We had a plan here. It has gone awry, but that's okay. I'm going to do Ticket to Ride Japan side on, this is expansion pack number 7. So the Japan side introduces bullet trains that are shared amongst all the players. So you build a bullet train route and you get to put down a couple different trains in a bullet train. Everybody else can use it during the game. So it's a nice kind of little shared, interesting mechanic. As well, it comes with its own bullet trains, which are awesome. They have like little carved out windows, and we love Japan, and Japan geography is great.
Number 5 is the UK board. This is map pack number 5. And what we love about the UK side is they introduce technology. So there are some boats or ferries in this one as well. And you are buying upgrades. So initially, you cannot build any of the long trains, any of the trains that require ferries, because you need to build things like propellers. You need to be allowed to go into other countries. You start in England, but if you need to go to Scotland, Ireland, or Wales, you need to buy certain codes to allow your trains into these different places.
I'd say this is like the most board gamey version of Ticket to Ride in my mind, because you have to buy the technology, so you have to save up a number of trains to buy technology, and then sometimes a next level technology to build all the routes. So this one, I think we would disagree a little bit on this one. This one I think we do combined lists was outside of my top 10. You love it. You had it like number 2 or something
Yes.
like that. I find it slows it down a lot, but I can also see where people enjoy that kind of extra aspect that it brings.
Coming in at number 4 is actually the other side of this board, being Pennsylvania.
Yes, now this is one of my favorite boards because this adds in stocks. So as I just complain about being too gamey, here I go. So this version, you basically, when you're building routes, you can claim stocks at the end for certain train lines. And some they have 15 total shares within the game, and some are rare and they only have like 4 shares. And then it also incentivizes who gets there first, because let's say there's a tie. Let's say I have 7 shares, she has 7 shares. Whoever has the lowest number, i.e. they got there first, gets the tiebreaker. You score a bunch of points for your shares and your train. So it adds an extra level that I really enjoy.
Yeah, you can actually completely play the game differently and pick your routes strictly based on trying to collect stocks and picking routes where that stock is available. So totally changes up the game. All right, coming in at number 3.
I'll let you speak to the India
This
board.
is India. It is exceptionally tight, especially if you're playing with more people. It is Map Pack 2. We've had this one for a long time, but at 2 players, it is fantastic, really tight, and kind of head-to-head. You can easily block people out or send them on an extreme detour.
Got to go around the side. Number 2, Ticket to Ride Europe. Here is the anniversary board, or the 15th anniversary collection. Anyways, Ticket to Ride Europe came out just a little bit after the US board.
Right.
It is a full-size game. You get all your trains and everything in there. It's a little more advanced, I would say, than the US board. The expansions are great for it. I think this, for my money, is the best, like, big box Ticket to Ride on the market.
And the really cool part of this one, the trains, even though it's a deluxe version and a much bigger board, the trains do fit on all of the expansion boards, so you don't have to worry about it not being compatible with the other boards. And I love the Europe board because it has introduced train stations which allow you to share someone's route. So in case you're playing with someone who's not as experienced in the game, or someone who might have a little cry attack if you cut them off, it solves that problem. Because the stations are not worth that many points, but it really solves the problems of being cut out completely.
Well, I'm still going to complain. But that our number 2 for this is the Europe board, regardless of whether or not it's the original version or the anniversary.
Correct.
But we would recommend the anniversary because those trains are awesome and the board is gigantic. The only thing I don't like is it doesn't fit in the Kalak shelf. Like, who does that? Anyways, our number 1, we are back to Map Pack Expansion 1. It is the co-op team version. I guess it's not co-op, but it's the team version. It is called Team Asia. So in Team Asia, you can have up to 3 teams of 2 battling it out for supremacy of the board. So what you do is you have your own ticket at the start of the game, and then you have combined tickets. So you have like goals that you're both working towards, and you also have some combined shared just trains that you can keep, but you're not allowed to communicate with the other person. So you're going to be like collecting trains. Say I'm on the same team with Lisa and I'm trying to build a green route, and then she snatches a couple trains away. My entire plan is ruined. Well, you shouldn't do that. We're on the same team. But my entire plan is ruined, but I'm still kind of playing together.
This is a great way, if you have people who are new to the game and some experienced players, great way to break it up. We always split up, and I send him with my mom on one team.
Yes.
I play with my dad, and it keeps everybody happy, because I tell you, my mom will take the train you need every time if you've been saving it, no matter what. So it's better that he plays with her than me, because otherwise it would be battle of the mom and daughter.
I don't even know where to go with that. Battle of the mom and daughter. I'm just staying out of that completely. So that is our top 10 Ticket to Ride board. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you may.
And let us know what your favorite Ticket to Ride is down in the comments.